Okay, so we recently covered the 10 or so essential tools that every rider should have in their workshop. So when you've got those covered, what do you have to think about next? Well, this time it's all about the little things. It's those little things that make your life a lot easier when it comes to working on the bike. So when I'm working on bikes, there's a few things that I like to have at hand at all times. So I'm going to take you through those so you can see exactly what you should have. So first off, and probably the most important tool that you'll have, is a work stand. Now, you don't need to have a super duper work stand like we have in our workshops here. You could get away with a very, very small stand. Something like this granite stand here is a portable, simple device that you can use. All you really need is something that will hold the bike steady and allow you to work on it. So in this case, this goes through the bottom bracket, and what it does, it lifts the back wheel up, so it allows you to work the gears and just set up the bike exactly as you want it. So once you've got your bike set up and ready to work on, the first thing I like to have at hand are your chain oils, your lubes and your greases. So the things that you might need to be able to either clean parts or lube parts throughout the job. So that's your chain oil, so something like a wet lube, then a tub of grease, something that you can obviously use for those bearings, and then something like WD-40 or GT85, so a very, very light lubricant that can also be used to clean things and just as a general purpose lube. It's also important that you've got a good supply of rags or cloth that you can use to be able to actually keep your bike clean, or to make sure you can actually wipe things when they need to be wiped. So you can either buy these things, or what I tend to do is I tend to take my old t-shirts and cut them up. So it's a bit of recycling there as well, but the good thing is with a t-shirt is it's made of nice soft cotton, so it's absorbent and it will really be able to be used in any type of situation, from cleaning the drivetrain to polishing and looking after your frame. When you're working on your bike, your hands are often going to be on the front line, so it's really important to keep them protected and to keep them as clean as possible. So a good pair of gloves is really, really important to have whenever you want to work on your bike. You can either use the disposable rubber latex type gloves like these ones, or a good pair of reusable gloves. These, like the muck-off ones, are not only really, really good for keeping your hands nice and clean, but they're also protective. They're cut-proof, so they prevent you from damaging yourself if you scuff your hands on the chain rings or any other sharp points on your bike. And of course, if you don't want to get your nice clothes mucky, then you need to wear something to protect yourself as well. So a good workshop apron will not only protect your clothing, but will also have lots of pockets so you can put tools in there so they are readily available and accessible. Something I like to do every time I work on my bike is to check the wear on the chain. So this is something that can save you a lot of money in the long term, and it can also make sure that you're not going to cause any extra damage to those expensive parts. A good chain checker needn't cost a lot of money. So you can get a very, very basic version like this that can be used to just check how stretched and how worn the chain is, or you can go for something a little bit more high-tech like the Park Tools one here. But it's very simple, takes a couple of seconds, and it really will tell you whether or not it's time to change your chain. It's a good idea to have a spare couple of gear cables at hand at all times. So in case your gear cable is broken or frayed, it's a simple job of just swapping that over. But the other good thing about a gear cable is a lot of dropper seat posts use that style of cable. So you can use that in case you've got a problem with your dropper post as well. Now, not only is a gear cable a good spare to have, but spare ends of those gear cables, so the little crimps and also the little caps, are really useful. They're those sort of things that you kind of forget about, but you use quite a lot of the time. So if your gear cable itself is frayed at the end, a new gear crimp will make that job nice and neat and make it look perfect again. You can't go anywhere in my workshop without finding some zip ties and some tape. Really, really simple and essential things to have. So if you need to keep things together or put things back together, then these will help you in those processes. So zip ties and tape are definitely essentials. And finally, there's nothing worse than taking bits off your bike, putting them down and then forgetting where they are, or bits dropping down somewhere where you can't find them, especially under the fridge. So having a little container so you can put those parts is really, really important. It doesn't need to be anything spectacular. A little plastic tub like this or a bigger tub like this is something that you should have so you can just put things from one place to the other and then you know exactly where they are. So there you have it, 10 workshop essentials that I think really will make your life easier when working on your bike. So thanks for watching, and if you like what we're doing, don't forget to subscribe. And if you've got any workshop essentials that I haven't mentioned that you use all the time, don't forget to put it in the comment section below.